the game getting popular and kids making memes and mini movies, it was just a matter of time before people started having wild ideas and exploring more edgy themes.
This is the first time I've ever been uncomfortable and truly disturbed while making a video. And not in the meme way. I was actually horrified and shocked to learn about the darkest and deepest parts of
Everybody, my name's Core, and I hope you're all having a great day. Today, I decided to get nostalgic and go back to my roots as a content creator with Gacha Life. We'll be looking at the history of the community, the elements that went into its downfall, and where it is today. Please keep in mind that we'll be touching on allegations of sexual content, so if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, maybe this isn't the video for you. I don't mean to spread any hate to anybody mentioned in this video, and I don't want to make fun of the community. Please note that everything I bring up today is gathered by me, so if I miss anything, I'm sorry. Let's get started! Quite a few Luni Gacha games came before Gacha Life and Club. In 2015, Luni released his first gacha game called Anime Gacha, where you randomly rolled for anime characters. This style of character would continue up to Gacha Studio and Life. Gacha World was a similar style of game, but followed a story rather than just rolling for characters. Luni would release a few more games, but none became super popular. Slowly but surely, the studio built up a fan base. Fast forward to 2017, Luni released Gacha Studio, which allowed you to dress up your figurines. It followed the same art style as the rest of his games, and also gave you a feature to train pets, though it wasn't used very often. 2 more games were released before 2018, when the Gacha Life community first began to arise. The infamous Hated Child series, which is credited as being the first trend of videos, gave people a way to create animatics. Using the figurines you could dress up in Gacha Studio, people were able to create their own characters and storylines. Channels and series began to arise and grow in popularity. After a few more games were released, Gacha League and Verse were uploaded in mid-2018. Gacha League was a short-lived throwback to the original lore and battle-style app that Luni had originally intended the games to be. When it didn't do very well, the studio released Gachaverse. Verse offered many more options to customize your character, more backgrounds, poses, and accessories. The game also adopted the new, lesser anime and more chibi style of art that can be seen up to Gacha Club. This is when the community truly begins to flourish and grow. YouTubers who uploaded their Gachaverse mini-movies reached more than 1 million views. In October of 2018, the game that began the end was released, Gacha Life. The game, sticking to the new style, focused heavily on the dress-up aspects of the games. Animations were added, which made it possible to move the characters, though the feature was always kinda laggy. Videos, trends, and a hierarchy of creators began to flourish within the pages of YouTube. At this point, Gacha wasn't really seen as cringe, it was all just fun and no one took it very seriously. But then, just like many other issues in the world, Reddit got involved. On May 5th of 2019, the subreddit r/gachalifecringe was created. The subreddit quickly grew in popularity and was dedicated to critiquing the cringiest of gacha creations. The flares on the subreddit were LGBTQ+ fetishization, /misinformation cringe, perverted cringe, surreal or odd or horrifying cringe, uncategorized cringe, edgy cringe, and insensitive cringe. Over time, more and more sexual content began to appear on the subreddit as the gacha community grew in popularity. TikTok compilations of really just awful and horrifying abominations began to be uploaded onto YouTube, and the prevalence of sexual content in this community grew. In early 2020, Luni made an update to the Gacha Life mobile app that removed some faces and poses. It also made you unable to match skin tones to the shirts and pants the character was wearing, but this update has not yet been given to the PC version. The fact that they had to do this in the first place is kinda disgusting. It was quickly made clear that as the community grew, more than children were becoming involved in it. And as much as some people try to keep the dark side of the community from growing, they only became more creative. YouTubers like The Click, It's Ben, Semantics, and Nani began to upload commentary videos on the subreddit and the odd sexual undertones in the community. A few large YouTubers, like Gamers Nation and Lynn Totally, became popular controversies, even to people outside the community. The community went from being practically invisible to outsiders to being a breeding ground for groomers, cringe, sexual content, and immature children. Quick content warning, this is where we talk about all the sexual content, so if you're not up for it, just skip to Can It Heal. Lumine, also known as Luni, is the creator of all the gacha games. His sprite is one of the pre-made existing gachas when you open the game, and one of the main characters. But around 2020, allegations began to arise about him. These allegations included stealing characters, tracing art, pedophilia, sexual content in his games, and referencing hentai. He had swimsuits and lingerie in some of his earlier games, like Studio, a 15-year-old succubus or sex demon, which he later edited to be ageless. A lot of the art featured sexual poses or provocative clothes, despite the game being rated for kids 9+ and later 13+. Luni also allegedly had an 18+ chat room in one of his games where people acted inappropriately with his knowledge. Apparently there was a fire pole in some of the gacha games with dancing poses. In previous versions of Gacha Life, there was also lingerie and a whip, which was removed after the 18+ update. In a lot of his games, there were thrusting poses that were very clearly sexual in design. In what I believe was Gacha Life, there were traits called master, pet, sadist, and masochist. Even if these weren't added with the intent of being sexual, I don't understand why you'd ever add them to a game rated for children. There's so much footage recorded of Luni adding sexual content into his games, allegedly. Don't sue me. I'll link a video that has lots of evidence backing up these allegations. But Luni wasn't the only one who was accused of these types of things. Len Totally, Hatane Ru, Nehima Ramen, Miss Chocolate, Comfy System, and many others were all popular creators who fell into controversies that most weren't ever able to move past reputation-wise, and it took a toll on the community. Since then, many gacha creators, including myself, have given up on the community. Some people believe it's doomed because of its reputation and problematic creators, but there's another side to this, a side that believes in saving the Gacha Life community, eliminating inappropriate content, and problematic creators, and going back to the good old days. People have made videos and edits of their OCs protesting against gacha heat and fighting to be a normal community again. Some people believe it'll never work, but others have hope that everything can be restored to being tame and civil. Around 7 months ago, the gachalifecringe subreddit was shut down for reasons unrelated to Gacha Life, but since then, the cringe videos have slowed down and the community has mostly been left alone. Gacha heat still runs rampant on TikTok, some of Reddit, and YouTube, but the rest of the community openly makes fun of them. Please remember that the majority of these people are children, or people who grew up with gacha and are now around high school age. None of them deserve to be attacked, even if their content is cringe, because at the end of the day, isn't everything all about having fun? A really big thanks to Kumrexy, who made a video in 2021 about the timeline of the community. I owe all of the information about the history to her, since I had no idea where to start. She also uploaded a video about saving the community, which led to me learning about the movement. Please have a happy 4th of July if you celebrate it. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Also, thank you for 600 subscribers. Like, what? I love you guys. Thank you so much.